Hello dear friends, myself Professor Khodde Rishikesh and you are watching BSc Botany Studies Classes channel. Here we are ongoing our discussion on the topic of FY BSc syllabus. So on the screen you can see the syllabus. In this syllabus we have various chapters are given by the university. Up till we have discussed the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Where the definition, introduction of physiology and the diffusion topic we have discussed. The video are available in FYBSc playlist. Today we are going to discuss about the osmosis chapter. This chapter consists 2 lectures. So we will divide this chapter in 2 lectures. Today we will be discussing mainly about the definition of osmosis, which is very critical, and the types of solutions which we study in osmosis concept. So friends, without further delaying, let's discuss one by one about the osmosis. So okay friends, I have written here the definition of osmosis concept. The osmosis is different from the diffusion. In previous lecture we studied about the diffusion. We have seen the importance of diffusion in plant life, as well as we have seen the factor which affect upon the diffusion. Here we are going to discuss about the osmosis definition, which is different from the diffusion. So you should not get confused with the diffusion. For understanding about osmosis, we have to look at one example which I am going to draw here. Here you have 2 beakers. This example will help you to understand what I am trying to tell you actually about the osmosis. We have 2 beakers. One beaker capacity is 5 liter, another beaker capacity is 10 liter. These beakers are connected through the pipeline, which is common pipeline between 2 beakers. The pipeline is traversed by a membrane which is semi-permeable. Semi-permeable membrane. This is semi-permeable membrane present between 2 beakers. In 10 liter beaker we can name it as a B beaker. 5 liter beaker we can name it as a beaker. In B beaker you are adding a sea water. 10 liter sea water you have taken in 10 liter beaker. In 5 liter beaker you have taken distilled water. So what is difference between sea water and distilled water is first point to understand here. The sea water contain ions, mainly which types of ion? Na plus and Cl minus type of ion. The water molecules which are present in water, which is, we can write it as in this fashion. The water molecule contain hydrogen atom and oxygen atom consist partial charges. This water molecule is partially charged. So what happens when you add sodium and chloride in water? The water molecules surround these ions and create the hydration shell around these water ions which are you are adding in the water. So in this way water molecule will surround these ions. So why I am telling you this? Please listen carefully, it is very important. When we add any ion in water, and the ion is definitely is charged ion, water molecules surround that ion in order to dissolve that ion inside the water. While doing so, the water molecules are not free. Free water molecules are less in sea water. On other side, in distilled water, what happens? There are no any ion present here. So the quantity is 5 liter. Whatever water molecules are present in distilled water are more free. So in distilled water quantity is 5 liter, sea water quantity is 10 liter, but instead of having 10 liter quantity, the free water molecule number is less. Whenever free water molecule number is more, this water is considered as a pure water. Whenever free water molecules are there more, it is known as pure water, and wherever free water molecule are less, it is considered as impure water. So I am telling you step by step what is osmosis. First understand this example. We have two beakers, 10 liter beaker, 5 liter beaker. In 10 liter beaker we have 10 liter sea water, 5 liter beaker we have 5 liter distilled water. But the 10 liter sea water is there, but the free water molecules are less. 5 liter distilled water is there, but all the water molecules are free in condition. So the more free water molecules, that's why it is pure water, and less free water molecules, that's why it is impure water. Are you understanding why I am saying free water molecules? Because if you add iron here, the water molecule are going to surround that iron. So the free water molecule number will be less. So we have pure water and impure water. The pure water is known as high concentrated water, and impure water is known as low concentrated water. This will help us to prepare our definition. So high concentrated water, which is pure water, which is containing more free water molecule, is considered as high water potential water. And the water which is low concentration, impure water containing less free water molecules, it is known as low water potential water. So there are terminologies which you will be required during your further study in competitive exam as well as graduation exam. So here two beakers are there. Distilled water contain more free water molecules, which is pure water, which we considered as a high concentrated water and which is having high water potential. On other hand, sea water, which is containing less free water molecules, which is impure water, which is low concentrated water, and the low water potential containing water, we can say. So the definition of osmosis we can write in this fashion. The movement of water, normally what happen, we consider as from 10 liter to 5 liter water movement should take place, but it does not happen. Why? Because this membrane is permeable only for the water. So the water movement takes place from its high concentration to the low concentration. Try to understand this. The movement of water from its high concentration of solvent to the low concentration of solvent, or you can say the movement of pure water towards the impure water through the semi-permeable membrane, or you can say the movement of water from its high concentration towards the low concentration through the semi-permeable membrane, or you can say the movement of water from high water potential area towards the low water potential area through the semi-permeable membrane. So there are various definitions of osmosis you can write. For that I have drawn this diagram. This diagram will definitely going to help you to write your definition, and I am sure you will definitely remember forever the definition of osmosis. So you can write the definition of osmosis in various fashion. You can write as the movement of water from more free water molecules to less free water molecule side through semi-permeable membrane, or you can write the movement of water from pure water state to the impure water state through semi-permeable membrane. Through semi-permeable membrane should be there. The movement of water molecule words should be there. The movement of water molecule from the region of high concentration towards the region of low concentration of solvent through semi-permeable membrane. And lastly, you can also write the movement of water molecule from high water potential region to the low water potential region through the semi-permeable membrane. So I have tried to make the definition of osmosis as simple as it can be possible. So it will definitely help you to remember the osmosis definition. Diffusion definition was something different, and osmosis definition is something different. Whatever we have discussed here is in relationship with the water. Don't forget this. So it will be it will create confusion if you avoid this. It is in relationship with the water. The water is considered as a solvent. Water is considered as a solvent. But there is another concept for osmosis. We have seen the definition of osmosis in relationship with the solvent. But you can also write the definition of osmosis in relationship with the solute. You can also write the definition of osmosis in relationship with the solute. How you can write? You can write that the movement of water molecules, please listen carefully, movement of water molecules from the region of less solute potential towards the more solute potential area. Okay, in term of solvent we have said there are various definition. In term of solute I have just said one definition. The movement of water molecule from less solute potential to the high solute potential area. So it was regarding the definition of, you can select any definition, you can write any definition, it does not matter, nobody is going to reduce your marks, so you don't have to worry about it. You just have to remember the concept of osmosis. This osmosis concept is very applicable in plant life. Which area it is applicable we are going to discuss is later, but here just remember about the definition of osmosis just we have discussed. So when we have a chemical or substance or a liquid which is containing various ions, this solution shows various different types. So let's discuss about the different types of the solutions. Okay, so friends, I have written here the point, that is types of solutions which we are going to discuss now. I will draw a figure where we have three different beakers, beaker A, beaker B and beaker C. In this beaker we just are adding distilled water. We just have distilled water in this beaker. In second beaker we have 1 molar sucrose solution. How to prepare 1 molar sucrose solution? For that I will prepare another video in later section. Here just remember we have another beaker in which 1 molar sucrose solution is there, and we have third beaker where we have 10 molar sucrose solution is there. So why I am telling you this example, it is very essential to understand. We are studying plant physiology. In this physiology we have to assume certain concepts. So please listen carefully. We have three different beakers with different concentration of solution. It is distilled water, it is 1 molar sucrose solution, and this is 10 molar sucrose solution. If we have one plant cell, if we have this one plant cell, if you have this one plant cell, if you are putting this plant cell in different solution, if you have 3 plant cells, you can place these 3 plant cells in 3 different solutions. You can wait for 24 hours. After 24 hours you have to do some observations. If the initial weight of the seed, was 1 milligram, if before doing any experiment the weight of the seed was weight of the plant cell is 1 milligram before doing any experiment. After doing experiment in this A beaker, you will find the weight of the plant cell is now 2 milligram. The weight has been increased. In B beaker, after doing experiment you will find the weight remain constant, 1 milligram only. There is no change in weight of the cell. In third beaker, after 24 hours of experiment you will find there is change in weight of the cell, which is 0.5 milligram now. So what this experiment tells you? What this experiment tells you is very interesting here. After putting in this solution, the weight of the cell increased. After putting in this solution, the weight of the cell remained constant. After putting cell in this solution, the weight of the cell decreased. So what happened here is actually is that when you place the cell in this beaker, the whatever water which was present around the cell enters inside the cell. So water from outside is migrating towards the inside, means this is happening. So the water is entering inside the cell, which is causing to increase the weight of the cell. Here in this case what happens, this is a plant cell, some water comes inside the cell, some water leaving the cell. Means what? The water coming inside and going outside with the same rate. That's why the weight of the cell is same. And in third case what happens, the water from the cell is going outside, that's why the weight of the cell is decreasing. So there are three different cases here, A, B, C cases. So here the solution which is responsible for inward flow of water into the cell, please listen carefully. The solution which is responsible for inward flow of water into the cell, the solution is known as hypotonic. The solution is known as hypotonic solution. In another case, the solution where in equilibrium water is coming inside and exiting the cell. When water comes inside as well as exit the cell, it is the solution known as isotonic. We are talking about the solution. And in this case, the water from the cell is going to leave that cell, is going outside. That's why this solution is known as hypertonic solution. So we have a hypotonic solution, isotonic solution and hypertonic solution. There are three different types of solutions I have highlighted here. In first case, water is entering inside the cell, that's why it is known as endo osmosis. In hypotonic solution, endo osmosis takes place. In hypertonic solution, water from the cell is going outside, that's why it is known as exo osmosis. The hypertonic solution is causing exoosmosis, hypotonic solution causing endoosmosis. Isotonic solution do not show any further different types of endo or exoosmosis. You can say simultaneously endo or exoosmosis takes place in isotonic solution. But here I have highlighted the types of solution which are hypotonic, isotonic and hypertonic. In hypotonic solution, the endoosmosis generally takes place. In hypertonic solution, exoosmosis generally takes place. So with the help of one cell example, I have tried to explain you this complex concept. This is very interesting to discuss in plant life, which we will discuss in later section. But in this lecture, I have tried to explain you the definition of osmosis with using that example of beakers. Here we have discussed about the types of solutions as well as the exoosmosis and endoosmosis phenomenon. But remember, things do not end here. In next lecture, we will discuss about whatever osmotic pressure is created, whatever turgor pressure is created, whatever wall pressure is there created, and various points which are remaining in this chapter will be discussed in the next lecture. So till there, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. So we will meet in next part. Thank you for your time. Bye.